This video will show you how to get into and navigate through the MKTG Online website. In our Canvas course for Principles of Marketing, I am currently in the modules section. You'll see here the module for getting started and for the course orientation. I'm going to show you several places where you can actually access the link to the site. First, under the course orientation, if I open up that, you'll see if you scroll down instructions for how to access your MKTG online course. It's a document with instructions, and also there's a link to register. That's the same link you can use to get in. We're going to use that one, but let me also show you that within each module and each week you'll see the week 1 overview and resources. If you click on this link right here, this is also going to contain a link to the MKTG online website. I want you to know that they're in several places. You don't always have to go back to that course orientation. It'll be in every weekly overview. But for now, let me go back. I'm just going to click on modules, and I'm going to go back to the course orientation section, and where it says register on the MKTG online website, I'm going to click this link, and that's going to take us to the website right here. It's embedded. If you ever want to go and you want to take one of these embedded websites and open it in a full screen, there's a little arrow just to the right here you can click on the name. You can click right there. But if you scroll down, you'll see you confirm that this is our course, and you'll also see there's a place as a new student to create a new account. Now within the course orientation, there's the link above the link to this site. You'll see instructions. It kind of leads you through a little bit, but it's pretty self-explanatory. You will need the code that comes in your textbook. If you're just deciding that you don't want the textbook, you just want to buy the website with the ebook, you can just go ahead and you can actually pay on this site. Once you create your new account, when you come back later, here's where you log in. Where it says returning students, you can go ahead and log in that location. First time you get into the website, you're going to see a place where you need to accept the end user license agreement. So you just go ahead and click here, and it'll go through the end user license agreement. Once you accept, it'll take you back here, and you can click enter course. That's the only time you're actually going to see that. The next thing you're going to see is a little overview, and you'll actually recognize this picture from your syllabus where I took a screen capture of it, but it talks about the different features that you can access. So a full online ebook, there's videos and other resources. Most of the assignments I have for you I have on Canvas, so you don't have to worry about going here. And there's a study board, which I'll show you in just a moment, and study bits. So you just click got it at the beginning, and that you can't quite see that in this window. I'm going to go ahead, there's got it, and that's going to take me into the site itself. Now once I'm in the site, you'll see that the chapters are represented by pictures, and these are the same pictures that you actually will see in the textbook itself. Now my menu items at the top are going to be slightly different. The Manage My Course, I don't think you have that as a student, but you'll see MKTG 10, that button right in the middle. When I click on that, it will always bring me back to this window. You'll also see the study board, and we'll get into that in just a moment. You can change this to a list view if you prefer that. I can go ahead and click on this button, and you can see a list view if you prefer that. And also up here under your name, if you click there, there's where you sign out. And let me scroll down a little bit. You can't see it because my screen is cut off, but at the very bottom there is a help button. So if you have any trouble, you can click the help button. So let me go ahead and log in. I'm just going to go ahead and click on chapter 1. And what you're going to see are a few things. First, you're going to see an overview of the chapter here. This is the introduction and each learning objective. And you'll see a chapter review section. You're also going to see several different items here. Some little items, you will see a video, and typically it's right here. Now if you're opening this on an iPad or on your cell phone, which you can use this on a cell phone, the video link might be on the bottom left instead of the top right. But what I try to do is when I give you the instructions for the video assignments that we have every module, I try to put a picture of this so you can actually recognize it as you're going in. Okay, so if you're ready to take a look at the textbook, you can always use the links here, and I'm going to go ahead and, for example, and click on the chapter introduction. And you'll notice as you go through this, it's going to give me a tip. I can tap if I have a touch screen, or I can click to collect a study bit, and I'll show you that in just a moment. So what you're going to see if I scroll down is your overview of Chapter 1, and just a very brief overview with the learning objectives for that chapter. Now, you can come over here to the right-hand arrow, and you can go to the next page, which will take you to the next section. Okay, and you'll see here Chapter 1. Now, the very cool thing about this online book is that there are integrated videos, and these little videos give you a little overview of different sections. So it's kind of nice if you're a visual learner. You can go ahead here and you can actually go through and view these little videos. So I'm going to go down here, and as I'm going through and reading, you'll notice there's a section, there might be some words in blue. If you see that, these are words that are already identified for you. I can click on it and it's going to tell you, hey, this is your first study bit, and what you have to do is you can either just click on something that you want to save to your study board. A study bit is pretty much just something that you have identified that is important or something you might want to look at later. Here's the cool thing. You can create quizzes based on your study bits automatically. You can create flashcards based on your study bits, and you can just review these. It's really, really nice thing. And you can also do, for example, add notes. You can indicate how well you understand it, etc. So I'm going to go ahead and click Got It. Thank you so much. And when I click on this word, a little study bit is already going to come up on the right-hand side. And it says, it's already kind of highlighted, but there's the definition itself is right here. And you can also put notes. For example, if I want to put a note to myself saying, this seems, I'm going to just make this up, pretty important. It's kind of nice too if you're in a class and your professor's saying, hey, this is important, you could kind of mark that. You can mark your understanding, okay? You can say right now, I think I'm fair. You don't have to mark this. You can add tags if you want to categorize these. You can play with those. And then I'm done, I just click done. Okay, done. And I can just keep reading. Okay, so I'm reading. Now, let's say that you don't really like reading online, but you want to hear something. You can see here there's a little picture of a little mouth with a little voice thing here. If I click this, it's actually going to read the page for me.
Chapter 1. An overview of marketing. 1-to-1.
Now, as it goes through and reads, there's a little setup button here where you can actually change the settings. They can read faster. And there's some other options as well. So I can actually change this. I can actually read each page. This is really nice. If you tend to be an auditory learner, you can actually have it read the book for you, which is kind of nice. You'll notice there's some things that are already here that have a study bit already created. You can just click on it to collect it. Again, here's another one, the concept of exchange. I can click this. Here's the study bit. The definition is already there. I can go ahead and just scroll down and hit done, and it will collect that study bit. Let's say there's something else, like, oh, an exchange can take place only if the 5 conditions exist. That seems important to me. So I can actually click here, and you can see it has created a study bit, and I can just say 5 conditions for exchange. And I can say, ooh, I don't think I'm very good at that. I can click done. So as I go through and I read the text, I can identify anything I find to be of value. There are some little built-in exercises that you can do if you want. You don't have to. I can play with that. It's a little drag and drop thing, okay? And you can check it and you can submit it. You don't have to do that. And if I'm done this page, I can go to the next topic, topic 1-2. Now at any point, I can always go back and say, okay, I want to go back to the table of contents. I want to figure out what's going on. All I have to do is go back and hit this little highlight area where it says Chapter 1, and it's actually going to open up the entire table of contents. Anything with a little camera is showing you where there's a video that's built in. That's kind of cool. And I do want to show you the chapter review. I find this to be pretty cool. In the chapter review, it actually has all the key concepts. So notice I actually had collected this as a study bit, but it actually is right here for me. Other key terms, so it's got all the keywords and key terms for the chapter, which is really nice. So it's kind of nice, and so different chapters will have different things, but it's kind of nice to have all of this right in one place. Also keep in mind that in your book, in the back, is a little study card for each and every chapter. You can pull them out, they have a little perforation, and that's kind of also a nice way to study. Okay, and the last part I'm going to show you is the study board. As you know, I've gone through the book. As I've read, I've collected some study bits. I can now go to the study board, and in the study board you have a couple things that you can do. It's reminding me I can take a practice quiz if I want. That's great. Thank you very much. It also tells me that this is where I can filter and organize my study bits that I can do. So what I'm going to see here is first, the first tab is my study bits. Here are the study bits that I have collected. I can at any point delete them if I want. There's a little delete button. And I can also go through and I can click on one and I can edit it, add notes, etc. So it's kind of nice. This is a nice place to kind of capture all of those things that I have found important as I went through and I read the chapter. You also can do flashcards. Let these pull up. I don't think I have any in here. Oh, there's 572 flashcards in here that I can use. What they are is they have like a front back, so the 80-20 principle, and I can click back. A principle holding that 20% of all customers generate 80% of the demand. So I can kind of go through and go through these flashcards. That's my dog in the background, by the way. Thanks, dog. My study bits as well. I believe I can also make a flashcards from my study bits as well. There's a concept tracker, and you remember when I went through the study bits and I could say, oh, I know this or I don't know that. I also, as I go through the book, there's little embedded exercises where I clicked and dragged product or place into the little box. It's going to keep track of this for me. It tells me right now in chapter 1, I actually have 4 study bits collected. Believe it or not, there were different categories for, I'm sure of this, I feel weak on this topic, I'm moderate or fair. It actually collected that. For this learning objective about marketing, you can see here that I have all 4 study bits in that section. It kind of goes through and just reviews, and you can go through and click the little magnifying glass, and it will actually pull up some of the different content that I want to look at, which is kind of nice. I'm going to go back to my study board, and the last thing I can do is I can create a practice quiz. This is kind of neat. I can actually say, give me a quiz on my study bits, so it only will give me a quiz based on those study bits, or I can actually choose a chapter, in this case chapter 1, but I could go through any of the chapters, and I can say, go ahead and give me a quiz. And I force you, as you can see, you can view any past quizzes you've taken. This will give you a series of questions. They're not very long. And you can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 10 questions. It'll go through and give you one question. You can go ahead and you can click it. I'm just clicking through. I'm not even, to be honest, I'm not even reading them right now. But I just want to show you I can go through and I can click these. Hopefully I'd spend a little bit more time because I don't think I'm going to do so well in this one. But they're nice little multiple choice quizzes. Almost done. And when I'm done, it's going to go through and doing that I got 3 out of 10 correct. But the cool thing is that you can actually see the question. Here are the ones I got wrong. That's the first tab. I can say, I didn't understand that. Here's a link right here to the textbook section where it talks about that. So you can go through all the questions that you got wrong, all the questions that you got right. You can retake it if you want, and you can view past quizzes. So there's some really nice study tools here. Again, to go back to the main part of the book, I can just click MKTG 10, and that's going to take me back to the chapters. Okay, so just one reminder, when you're going to go and access your video for the video assignment, you click on the appropriate chapter, and then you're going to look for the video link, and that's the video that you're going to watch. I hope this helped to give you a little bit of an introduction to the MKTG Online website. If you have any questions, feel free to send me an email, or certainly go ahead and post a question on our course questions and comments tab. Enjoy!